Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, today we're going to take a look at Beachbody Company, ticker symbol BODY. This was requested by somebody in the comments in a previous video. If you have a ticker that you would like to see me cover, feel free to put the ticker symbol only, not the company name, but the ticker symbol in the comments below. And if I reply to you and tell you that I've seen it and added it to the list, then you can rest assured that it's on there. And if I don't reply, feel free to drop that as a fresh comment in a few days on a future video, or even on the same one would probably work. All right, folks, so BODY, this is the daily chart looking at the year to date, so stretching back into January here. And as you see, BODY has tried a few times to stabilize itself. This is the most obvious one, right, in the mid-year here, and just hasn't been able to, and now is trickling down to by far the lowest point on this chart at the moment, hitting 610 earlier today. And as we see on the MACD, it's just continuing to stretch down further, barely getting any blips on the histogram of bullish buying pressure. That said, if you look at the selling pressure here and the selling pressure that followed it, it certainly is diminishing. And so if this most recent bearish push is quelched pretty quickly here, then that could signify that the bears are just sort of exhausted with this one and may give the bulls a little bit of room to try to claw back a little bit. But this is, stuck in a channel. I think there's a couple of things happening. Let's see if there's a trend line here or not. So if we go with a trend line from here and capture those, so we sort of caught under this trend line. If this can hold it, this is a good spot for it to try to bounce from. If it can resist just continuing to follow this down through the $6 mark. And then the other thing is this channel right here that is basically capturing most of this movement from July 22nd onward. And as you see, it's tested the bottom just twice since it got in, but has tested the top several times. So it's potentially pinching itself right now between the upper bound of this down channel and this support line that it has held since July 19th. So it could be coming to a head here. This would stretch though into like the first week of October. So it does have a couple of weeks left to go, and see if it could pop out there. And obviously the MACD line is still keeping pretty solid distance between itself and the signal line, so it's not showing a bunch of likelihood that it's going to quick flip the script and throw a bullish crossover. But over the course of a few days, if it strings together a few good ones or even starts moving sideways, it may start to do that. On the order flow side of things, just nothing happening really. Some large-scale inflows or outflows are just non-existent for this one. So for whatever reason, it seems that the larger whales, if you will, seem to be staying away from this one at the moment. But this is what I would look for in the meantime, is it pinching out somewhere in here. It's getting into a very confined zone. It definitely doesn't have to hold all the way through till it gets to the point here. It could jump out at any time, but just know it could jump out to the upside or to the downside. But it could continue just following this channel down as well. It doesn't have to do anything. To the upside, there is a really, really solid zone here. This is the one that I would look for most predominantly. If it can get support over 772, you may see a bit of a shift in the tide, just because there's so much previous resistance there and previous support at that level. It doesn't really stretch back any further than that, but that one stands out as being pretty solid. And then they might hit a little bit of resistance right around here. You see this previous support here, and then support that turned to resistance there. So somewhere in this zone, to me, you could see it sort of have a more of a feeling of recovery mode if it can get up and above those. But it has a lot of work to do, and at this point, it just has to try to sort of squash all of this bearish momentum that's hitting the stock at the moment. You do see, per analysts' ratings anyway, quite a bit of return potential on this one if it can, make any reality out of those analyst targets. And the short interest popping up a bit today, bringing it just over 5%. So not a ton of pressure from shorts, though the utilization is quite high and the cost to borrow is inching up as well. So they may be coming in to see if they can finish off body, to be honest, since it's had such a drawdown, about 50% or more down since just the very end of June. So they might be coming in to try to, like I said, finish the job and see if they can take that to zero, which is what some of the shorts come in to try to do, it seems. But it's something that I would keep an eye on just to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. And if it does, and the cost to borrow keeps rising significantly, then there might be squeeze potential down the road. But first things first is body would have to stop the bleeding, because that's not going to play any part in trying to turn rising short interest into a short squeeze. So those are the things that I would look for, and if it can't hold this trend line, then I would just look for it to get out of this larger blue down channel. But first thing, like I said, I would look for it to continue to confine its price action within these 2 points, and then see if it makes a big move one way or the other as it bursts out of there. All right, well, good luck if you're in this one. I certainly wish you the best, and I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.